Hey, it's Lily with Northwest Naturals. I'm here with Sam's Cats and Dogs, and we are so excited just to do a little interview here today. And I would love for you just to tell us where you guys are at, a little bit about your guys' store.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes.
We have 3 stores north of Seattle in Everett, Monroe, and Redmond. We've been doing this for 19 years now.
Wow.
We have 30 employees. We do delivery, we do online ordering, in-store pickup. You name it, we want to find a way to service the customer and get them what they need.
That's incredible. What got you guys started?
I think like a lot of people, I fell backwards into the pet industry and to doing pet retail. It wasn't anything that I grew up thinking that I was going to do. But I caught some breaks along the way, and 19 years ago, we opened our first store in Monroe. August 1st, 2005 was our start date.
Wow.
So we've moved the Monroe store twice. It's now in a building 7,500 square feet with an off-leash dog park and a separate building for some future plans and expansion that we're going to be doing. We opened a store in Everett in 2016, and just this summer moved into a 10,000 square foot space
Wow.
with a 20-door freezer and a 16 by 12 backstock freezer. So we're really committed to raw. We
Yep.
really like that. We've always, since we opened, we've always had freezers and sold fresh. And in 2020, we were actually able to open a store in Redmond, Washington, and that has a bakery, a grooming department, and a self-wash dog wash area. So we get to do a lot of different things to
Yeah.
go to market.
That's incredible. A little bit of everything up there, and you guys have grown a ton.
We try.
Yeah, that's incredible. Okay, so tell me why you carry Northwest Naturals.
Well, I carry Northwest Naturals because it's one of the oldest. If I don't know if there's another raw food company that's been making raw food for dogs as long as the Morash Meats company, who does Northwest Natural. To have that brand still being made in the Northwest, to have the knowledge that went into that and the consistency. I mean, there's not another foundational brand out there. I have a lot of brands that I like. You're not the only brand in my freezer, but I can't imagine not having a store that isn't selling everything that Northwest Naturals makes.
I love that. Okay, so why raw though?
I feel like I don't want to make a decision for any pet parent about what they're feeding their animal. I don't want anybody coming into one of my stores and feeling judged. And that being said, I understand that there are things that we can do for our pets that are beyond what we consider to be traditional. And I know that when pet food was perfected, so to speak, in the 50s, we came up with a dry food that was, ethoxyquin was the preservative. They'd ship it across the country. There were 4 things that they told people as marketing that we've kind of accepted as real things, and none of them have to do with the actual health of our dogs. Dogs have been basically, they've eaten scraps for 12,000 years of domestication, and the fact that we have a group of people that are trying to put together ingredient panels and have high quality ingredients going into a manufacturing process that guarantees the cold chain and really is looking to be accountable for what they're doing with their pets. I don't know why you wouldn't want to at least have that as an option to give every pet parent that comes into your store. I mean, raw isn't for everybody, and that's fine, but I would never do this without having a fresh component. Gently cooked, raw, there's a ton of things that are exciting in our freezers, and that's why when we moved our Everett store, for example, we have a 20-door freezer set in that. In Monroe, I've got a 15-door freezer set. Like, I'm very committed to the idea that there are different ways that we can feed our pets beyond kibble. And I sell a lot of kibble. Like, kibble has its place, and I love a lot of the manufacturing partners that I have in that area. But raw will always have a soft spot in my heart.
Okay, so with that being said, for somebody that maybe raw is new for them, how would you help them get transitioned to that? Like, what would be like the first step for them, like walking to your store? Like, how would you help somebody new get into the fresher food?
So if somebody wanted to come into our store and wanted to talk about raw food, we'd have a conversation about, there's a little bit to understand about cost, convenience, and quality. Generally speaking, you can only get a couple of those. There's things that go about things. So do you want to make your own home prepared diet? Do you want to do something where you start with a base that is complete and balanced? Do you want to go to somebody's complete solution that's ready to give that to you? Do you want to buy it in 50-pound chunks? Do you want to buy it in 3-pound chunks? What's your routine? Are you able to thaw something out and have it ready for your pets? And once we get to that, is that animal ready to transition into a raw food diet? Like, are you ready to fast that dog to allow its tummy to settle? Are you willing to put up with like, wow, the dog threw up, but the dog wasn't sick. The dog's system just, it's
It's
going to
new.
take,
Yeah.
you're going to have to give a quarter of a meal. You're going to have to feed more meals slowly over the course of a couple days so that you're able to not overwhelm the gut. Are you willing to do other things with it? Do you want to just start with a freeze dried? Do you want to just give a richer form of kibble to get that animal potentially ready for the raw? It's all about just having a conversation with somebody where they're at, because all dogs are different. You meet some dogs that immediately get onto a raw food diet and thrive.
Yeah.
And occasionally you'll meet a dog that's like, wow, I'm not ready for this. I need to be slower transitioned, or I need to have something to bridge that gap. And there's a million things that you can do to transition that gap.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so I guess the best place to be is in their store and asking them questions and figuring out what the best transition is. So, do you have anything else that you want to add as we wrap this up?
we just work hard so your pet can live a better life. And, having partners like you guys allow us to really deliver that into our community. So we've been grateful for the partnership, and we really appreciate being here.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I
welcome.
appreciate this, and we'll talk to you guys later.